We'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. and we have Mr. Stroh and Ms. Lenderman. I think they called in sick today, so they are absent. Any public comments on closed sessions? 7 p.m. while the computers turn on and get going. We have a roll call for the board. Ms. Lenderman and Mr. Stowe are absent today, and the rest of all the board members are present. We have student representatives. We have Layla from Bear Creek, Josiah from Tokay, and Navkiran from Middle College. And if Navkiran can lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have reports on actions from closed session. Conference with legal counsel. Ms. Alexander motion and Ms. McFarland second, and the board approves SPE 2025-2 by the following vote of 5 ayes, 0 noes, no abstain, and 2 absence. If I can request all of you to join your board in a moment of silence. It is with sadness that we share the news of the recent passing of 2 staff members and a student. Mariette Silveria, a speech and language pathologist from Beckman Elementary School. Watana Sapp, a PAAS paraeducator for special education at Manlio Silva Elementary School. And our student, Angel Okafor from Manlio Silva School. We extend our condolences to the families, the special education department, staff, and students at Manlio Silva Elementary and Beckman Elementary School. Please join us in a moment of silence to honor the 3 lives that are lost from our district. Thank you, everybody. We have a spotlight tonight. The spotlight is on our parent engagement program for Washington Elementary. Mr. Lambert.
Good evening, President Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young, and Cabinet. Thank you for allowing us this evening to spotlight the incredible work at George Washington Elementary School and the work that they're doing with regards to their parent engagement days. I would like to introduce our very proud principal, Ms. Gina Lopez. Next slide.
Good evening, Board President Ramel, Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Neil Young, and guests. My name is Gina Lopez. I am the proud principal of Washington Elementary. It is with great excitement that I share with you the work we have done around parent engagement days. Our data showed a clear message: all stakeholders strongly supported increasing opportunities for parent involvement. In response, our teachers and staff dedicated tremendous time, creativity, and heart to make these events meaningful and successful. I could not be more proud of their commitment. Parent involvement is something I value deeply on a personal level. Growing up, my mother and father were always present and always supporting us. Their belief in me shaped who I am today and helped pave the way for my success. I also want to acknowledge the amazing team at Washington Elementary. They helped bring parent engagement days to life. This initiative would not have been possible without their passion and dedication. This evening, I am honored to introduce our first presenter, Paola Maciel, and our parent community liaison. She's our parent community liaison. Paola played a key role in planning, coordination, and preparation of these events, and we are grateful for her leadership. Next slide.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ms. Paola Maciel, and as the community liaison at Washington School, my goal is to connect our schools and our families. I work to build relationships and encourage collaboration between parents and the school community. Our parent engagement days are just the beginning of this partnership. For our parent engagement days, we worked on building a communication on all platforms and languages to build a collaboration. The funding for our parent engagement days were through Prop 28 and our Title I parent funding. These events were scheduled by 2-hour blocks during the school day, and all of our staff participated. We had SLPs, our counselors, our bilingual paras, Spanish and Urdu, and we time carded our teachers to prep for engagement days. And I would like to introduce our next presenter, Mrs. Smalley, a third grade teacher at Washington. Next slide.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Smalley, and as Paola said, I'm a third grade teacher at Washington. So our goal was to give families a closer look at what their children are learning in third grade and to help them understand the strategies that we use to support student success. Parents and students rotated through 6 different learning centers that highlighted key components of our instructional practices, things like reading comprehension, vocabulary development, math fluency, and writing. My center focused specifically on how we teach personal narrative writing using the Clarity model. I demonstrated how we break writing down into the 5 finger rules. You can see that on the slide up there, which gives students a visual guide for the essential parts of their narrative. Overall, it was really fun to interact with students and their families, and I think the event strengthened our partnerships with families and helped them better understand the learning expectations we have for them here at school. Next, we will have a brief video on one of the third graders and his mother sharing their thoughts on the day.
And Julie, what did you do today?
Today I did multiplication facts, a geometry robot, and Edmund, but with emergency
All right.
I'm in the world, right?
And Julie, what did you do today?
Today I did
Okay, and now I'd like to introduce one of a parent of my student, Lisa Wally.
Hello, my name is Lisa Walleen. My children are Remington Zuniga and Theodore Walleen. They are third graders at George Washington Elementary School. This year I had the privilege to attend Parent Engagement Day, where we as parents got an inside look into our children's daily activities. I believe this gave us a better understanding of what and how our children are learning their grade level curriculum, which in turn allows us to provide consistency at home. We were able to see how hard our children have been working on their lessons and shed light on areas that may require more attention. I personally believe Parent Engagement Day inspires parents to be more active, not only in their students' education by implementing fun activities, but by also joining their children for future school events, creating and building community within our grades and schools as a whole. My children would like to share their personal favorite activities of this event with you. First, we have Remington Zuniga. Next slide, please.
Hello, my name is Remington Zuniga. I am in the 3rd grade. The thing I liked best about Parent Engagement Day was the personal narrative because I like reading and writing. For personal narrative, we had to underline different parts of the story. The topic sentences read, first event plus a detail is orange, second event plus detail is yellow, third event and detail is green, and last but not least, the closing is blue. I think Parent Engagement Day helped me as a student because I get to show my parents what I'm learning. Another activity I enjoyed was the paper robot activity. We had to name the shapes, and all the shapes we named correctly we could use to make a robot. Thank you. Next we have my brother Theodore. Next slide, please.
Hello, my name is Theodore Walleen, and I'm in 3rd grade. What I liked about Parent Engagement Day is that parents get to do fun learning activities with their children. Parent Engagement Day helped me as a student by helping me learn the meaning of words better. I enjoyed the headband vocabulary. What you have is a headband with a paper clip on it. Next, your teammate would put a word on the paper clip and would say the definition of the word. Next, you would have to guess the word by the description. Next, we have our Vice Principal, Ms. Smith. Next slide.
Good evening. My name is Joy Smith, and I'm the Vice Principal at Washington Elementary. As stated in our mission, we truly pride ourselves on being an inclusive and positive community where every student and every family feels welcomed. This mission isn't just a statement. It guides our decisions and shapes how we support our students and families every day. This year, as Mrs. Lopez shared, we have been very intentional about creating more opportunities for families to connect with our school. Our goal has been to offer events that are welcoming, accessible, and meaningful for all parents. Our recent Parent Engagement Day really highlighted the power of teamwork. Teachers, custodians, office staff, and our bilingual paraprofessionals all played an important role in making families feel supported and included. It was truly a whole school effort. One highlight and a personal favorite of mine was our Special Education Day. This event brought together all 6 of our SDC classes and created a wonderful space for families to learn about classroom supports, connect with our staff, and celebrate their children's progress. It was a meaningful and joyful day for everyone involved. All of these efforts reflect our commitment to building a strong partnership with our families. By expanding parent involvement and fostering an inclusive environment, we ensure that every child at Washington Elementary feels valued, supported, and set up for success. We're proud of the progress we've made, and we're excited for what we'll be able to continue and accomplish together. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation. I just want to give my mom a shout out since I'm doing a Parent Engagement Day. She's right here, and she's still supporting me to this day. And my son Anthony.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful, and what a great shout out to your mom.
Good job, you guys have questions? If not, we are.
Yeah, I'm opening it up to the board if you have any questions.
Great job.
Yeah. No, this is great. I felt like the key takeaway was this was an intentional effort. You guys did it because you knew that it needed to be done, and you brought it together. It's wonderful. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for
Yeah. Okay, we move over to our student representatives. If we can have Layla start with her report.
Good evening, President Dr. Ball, members of the board, and Superintendent Neil Young. My name is Layla Shelton. I'm the ASB president at Bear Creek, and this is my report. So, theater production, The Brothers Grimm Spectacular-thon was performed on October 30th, November 1st, and November 2nd. Our Bear Creek students did an excellent job, and we're looking forward to their next performance. FFA, on October 14th, 5 freshmen attended the Green Hand Leadership Conference in Turlock, where they learned to identify their personal interests and explore how those interests can translate into passion and values. On October 17th, 6 members volunteered their time at Julian Morgan Trick or Treat to help run the event. They were in charge of games, refilling candy, and sorting through it. On October 21st, multiple juniors and seniors from the Bear Creek FFA chapter went to the Robert J. Cabral Center to participate in the Ag Career Summit, where they learned about a number of careers in agriculture based on their interest. And then from October 29th through November 1st, 10 Bear Creek FFA students attended the National FFA Convention to listen to guest speakers, go on tours to explore the different parts of agriculture, and interact with chapters from all over the country through helpful workshops led by former FFA state officers and alumni. Speech and debate. The Bear Creek Speech and Debate team attended 2 tournaments on November 15th and the 16th. On November 15th, the team finished first overall against 19 other teams in the region. On November 16th, the team finished 3rd overall at the Diablo Valley College Invitational, closely behind 2 other schools that are nationally ranked teams. The team is continuing to grow and experience an abundance of success. Our next tournament is December 6th at Lodi High School. Sports. Winter sports tryouts were recently completed for boys and girls basketball, wrestling, and soccer. Teams are now being finalized and our athletes are preparing for an exciting winter season. AVID. Our AVID program is currently working on a school-wide giving back project with each level focusing on different initiatives. So for seniors, they are completing traditional community service projects. Juniors are presenting to local middle schools to recruit future AVID students. And then sophomores are delivering presentations on college and career readiness, including school links, dual enrollment, CTE pathways, and AP courses. And then our freshman class is reflecting on their transition to high school and creating a freshman guide for future classes. Student government. On October 17th, leadership students volunteered at the Julian Morgan's Trunk or Treat, helping support activities throughout the event. On October 29th, our student government hosted Bear Creek's first ever haunted house, which was a huge success. Our students are already brainstorming ideas to expand and improve it for our next school year. On November 13th, the student government leaders visited Julian Morgan Elementary to read to kindergartners and second grade students. It was a meaningful experience and a great opportunity for our students to serve as role models. Something special is being planned for our next visit in December. Performances. Our TLC, JCKC, Swing, and Kamba clubs performed and participated in a beautiful Veteran Day ceremony. And then for special student/staff accomplishments, our teachers of the week is Mr. Del Carlo and Miss Brown. Also, congratulations to Alisa Misa for being Diablo Valley College Tournament Champion in Original Advocacy, and Layla Shelton, I wonder who that is, for being Diablo Valley College Tournament Champion in Declamation. Great way to speak for the Creek. Upcoming events. Our Winterfest Spirit Week will be from December 8th to the 12th, and then we have our Winterfest Rally on December 12th, along with our Blood Drive on the 12th, and then our Winter Formal Dance on December 13th. On December 17th, we will host our family game night in the Bear Creek Theater. Families are encouraged to wear pajamas and enjoy games, food, and community bonding. Our goal is to truly make Bear Creek a welcoming hub where families can create lasting memories. Lastly, we will be attending another elementary school reading at Julian Morgan in December, but that date is to be determined. That is all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Layla. That was quick, and I felt like you had to go fast to finish it up. Did you have a timeline on it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I usually get really nervous, so I can do it.
No, I think you did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Navkiran?
Good evening, President Dr. Ball, members of the board, and Mr. Superintendent Neil Young. For school activities and programs, as the semester reaches an end, students are preparing for their finals, and many clubs are beginning to finishing up fundraisers these next few weeks. With winter formal approaching, many have bought their tickets last week and are planning to this Thursday as well. And others have also been doing a lot of winter formal proposals, so it's been cute seeing that around campus. Many seniors have submitted their FAFSA and CSU applications, while others are planning to submit UC applications over Thanksgiving break. And then I know all of our students are really looking forward to our short day before break starts. For student government, we have made $1,600 from winter formal ticket sales so far, and we're hoping to have more buyers for our late selling date this Thursday. In order to help promote our ticket sales, we have been posting promotional videos and are planning to post another one this week and then one the week of winter formal. We finalized our winter formal spirit weeks. Monday is Nerds versus Jocks, Tuesday is Toes Out Tuesday, Wednesday is White Lies, Thursday is Dress as Your Type, and then Friday is Pajama Day, so then students can dress down at school and then dress up for winter formal. One of our co-historians, Seisha, is working on a backdrop for people to take pictures with during Winter Formal Spirit Week, and we're really looking forward to seeing everyone participate. After yesterday's Gov meeting, we had the pleasure of hearing a club proposal for Rise Club from a junior, Rayanne, and senators will be voting on whether or not the club passes after next week's meeting. For performances, presentations, and events, representatives from Monterey East Bay and Sacramento State University presented in senior avids to show students what they have to offer. And I know a lot of students were considering at least Monterey East Bay a little more after seeing these presentations. And then many clubs are planning to hold events in the next couple weeks. Culture Club held their annual Fear Factor on October 22nd after school. The winners were Esteban Frias and Misha Malik, who won free winter formal tickets. Last week on November 12th, Tabletop Club held Dragons Game Night in collaboration with Music Club, allowing students to have time after school to kick back and have fun with their friends. On October 30th, during lunch, Art Club held a Halloween potluck with a costume contest. And this Thursday, November 20th, Science Bowl and Acadec are collaborating in a trivia night to help fundraise money for their clubs. This Thursday, November 21st, Culture Club, this Friday, November 21st, Culture Club is holding an Overcooked-themed culture cuisine, and they'll be selling a variety of food, including soup, lumpia, spaghetti, and much more. For special student staff accomplishments and recognitions, academics-wise, in Senior Avid, we are working on scholarship research and college applications, as well as researching career paths and professionals. For co-curricular, MESA held an event day to introduce students to events they have to offer, allowing them to create teams that will eventually pass through fall scrimmage, then compete in spring. Members have signed up for their events and have been working on blueprints and lab notebooks as well, which will be turned in within the next week to be approved by coaches. For upcoming events and activities, Science Bowl and Academic Trivia Night is this Thursday, November 20th. Culture Club Culture Cuisine is on November 21st. A Red Cross Run is on November 22nd, and a Winter Formal is on December 5th.
Thank you, Nakiran. Josiah?
Good evening, President Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Neil Young. I hope you're all doing fantastic. To get straight into it, these past couple of weeks have been extremely active for HOK. During the week of Halloween, we hosted our Trunk or Treat event along with our haunted house, both of which had a huge turnout. The haunted house alone brought in around 400 people, and it created a fun and engaging atmosphere for families and students. Fall sports have just wrapped up strong, and winter sports have officially started, so athletes are already back into action. As we move into December, we're planning a holiday movie night to close out Jubilation Week, giving students a fun way to end the semester. Overall, these programs have kept students involved, connected, and excited to be on campus. In terms of student government, our student leadership class has been hard at work, especially with running the Haunted House fundraiser in partnership with our theater program. We also supported the Trunk or Treat and have now shifted our focus to several community drives across campus. These include the FFA Food Drive, the Avid Toy Drive, the Women's Drive, and the Lodi House Drive. All of these lead into our Jubilation Week in December, which is our Giving Focused Spirit Week designed to bring the campus together through service. We're also working with our parent club as we prepare for our winter formal on January 17th at the festival grounds. This will be our first time hosting it there, and we're expecting up to 500 students to attend, which is awesome. In addition, we're also partnering up with Rebel, an independent senior living complex here in Lodi, to hand out Christmas cards and bake cookies and spend time with the residents during their holiday celebration. As far as student staff accomplishments, our fall sports teams have done an incredible job this year. Varsity girls volleyball, varsity boys cross country, and JV boys cross country all won league titles within the SJAA league. Water polo and tennis teams also had a very strong performance throughout their seasons. We still have cross-country athletes competing in postseason meets, and we're very proud of how far they've advanced and the dedication they've shown. As far as accomplishments, Daniel Barajas has just qualified for the cross-country state meet in Clovis, California, the first male runner to go to state since Joshua Young in 2024. Daniel placed a more than impressive second place in the D1 section this past weekend at the section meet hosted by Folsom High School. On the academic side of things, students are participating in a variety of service projects connected to Jubilation Week. These drives support organizations such as FFA, Avid, Lodi House, and Women and Children in Need. It has been a meaningful way for students to give back to the community while helping build a positive and supportive culture on campus, as well as the seniors ravaging the computers to actually get their applications and everything done. That's also a big thing going on right now. As far as co-curricular things go, our fall sports have officially wrapped up and winter sports are already underway with practices and competitions such as male and women's soccer, and as well as the wrestling programs. As previously mentioned, our theater program collaborated with ASB for the Haunted House fundraiser and hope to do much more things in collaboration with them, hopefully connected to the holiday spirit this time around. And multiple student groups are contributing to our holiday drive this month. These combined efforts highlight the strength of our co-curricular programs and teamwork happening across campus. Looking ahead, we have Jubilation Week, our holiday movie night, the Winter Fest Court for underclassmen, and our Winter Formal on January 17th. We also, again, have several donation drives continuing into December, along with the beginning of winter sports and competitions as they begin their seasons. In closing, Tokay High has been very active and successful in this past fall season, with strong student involvement, impactful community drives, standout athletic achievements, and an exciting calendar of events ahead that continue to build school pride and unity across campus. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Josiah. Do the board members have any comments or questions? Thank you. We move on to a superintendent's report.
Dr. Ball? I can do this louder. Dr. Ball, members of the board. I want to share with you, had a great opportunity yesterday afternoon to meet with Lisa Lennon-Wilkins, LEA president, and former outgoing lead negotiator Michael Heverly, Mrs. Erin Church, and Mr. Syed Shaw. And together, the five of us were able to spend quality time together understanding the mediated agreement and how money was paid out to teachers across the district. And after spending probably close to an hour and a half, I felt like we had a really productive meeting, and we learned some things together through this process that I think in the future we will be able to ensure occur in advance of any settlement, and how the process unfolds with retro check payouts. Because there's a lot of information out there, yet our payroll department has an obligation to ensure that all teachers are given appropriate, the actual retro checks that are coming to them, and ensure that their pay moving forward is accurate and reflected on their pay stubs, as well as is reported to STRS. And so I was very thankful for that meeting that we had, and I feel like it's a good step in moving forward and working together collaboratively. I am also very happy to hear that the LEA negotiating team, along with our negotiating team, will be going through an IBB training, interest-based bargaining training together. I believe that's upcoming in December, January, in advance of when we begin negotiating the successor agreement in February. And that's a chance to really continue to grow in how we collaborate together, look at things like contract language and how that can be adjusted for our teachers, for the district, and moving forward with our relationship. So I was thankful for the meeting we had. And unfortunately for Mr. Heverly, who was working out at 5:30 a.m. this morning, we got to also talk about it again this morning. But really, it's a great thing that we're able to work together, and we're prepared as we move forward. I will say this: if any individual teacher has concerns about how their pay was calculated, I believe it is wise for each teacher to sit down with our payroll department so they can walk through line by line to understand exactly how those numbers were calculated, to give peace of mind to any individual who had concerns. So with that, I have nothing further to share. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have public comments for consent agenda A. The public may address the board for consent agenda A routine business. Each public speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes, and if you can please say your first and last name before starting.
Good evening, President Dr. Ball, members of the board, Superintendent Young. So a couple of things in item A11. Policy 0450, the safety plans. As I mentioned the last time, I really think we need to add a section for the sites used as polling places so that parents, students, teachers, the community know what's going to be involved to keep the students from contacting strangers on campus. So I really want to add that into that section. And then policy 1313 on civility, I found kind of intriguing. I do believe that students, staff, parents, guardians, community members should be communicating and behaving in a civil manner. But civility doesn't, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't want this to suppress disagreement. Civility does mean that you can disagree, and civil disobedience has been a stalwart of people seeking civil rights and the civil rights movement. And even in our, I don't know if you guys are watching the New Ken Burns Civil War, but they talk about it a lot in that, and the events that led up to the Civil War, about these acts of civil disobedience. So it's necessary, but what's the line between being uncivil and expressing a disagreement? That's a problem that I have. I do hope, though, that one part of it talks about parents and parents being civil. I hear a lot from my members about parents who are verbally abusive to them, or even in written texts or messages on Class Dojo, to the point where they're not feeling safe. And so, should that happen, what are the consequences here for parents or guardians, because it's not always a parent or a guardian, who is not being civil to teachers and school staff? So I would like to explore that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Would the board like to pull any items from consent agenda A?
Chairman, I move that we approve consent agenda A.
Second.
Thank you. Can I have a student vote, please?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. And a board vote, please. Thank you, board. Motion passes 5 yes, 0 no's, and 2 absent. Public comments on consent agenda B. The public may address the board on consent agenda B. Student matters. Each public speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes, and please say your first and last name before you start. Seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
I move we approve consent agenda B.
Second.
Thank you. Can I have a board vote for this, please? Thank you. Motion passes 5 yes and 2 absent. Public comments on other action items. The public may address the board on other action items, and each public speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. And please say your first and last name before you start. Seeing none, we'll move over to the other action items. Item OAI1, nominations to California School Board Association's Delegate Assembly. Mr. Young?
Yes, Dr. Ball, members of the board. There are currently 4 expiring delegate seats in subregion 8A. And as such, you have a right as a board to make nominations to add additional board members to the CSBA's delegate assembly. So I'm bringing this before you now to consider whether you want to add additional board members to be considered for that delegate assembly. Currently, Susan McFarland sits on the delegate assembly, but there's nothing that precludes you from increasing the numbers. So I will turn that over to you, and if you do want to nominate someone and it's seconded, I just want to clarify, do they need to vote on that today?
Verbal
nomination. And it would be a verbal nomination.
Does it have to be only a nomination? Someone can say they would like to be one if they don't know it? Okay.
No.
We go for
and it's-
nomination.
And the vote is not from the board, the vote would be from the greater delegation.
The president of district.
Yes.
Our president for District 8 he will calculate them all, and then our constituents will vote.
Okay.
So we just send a nomination forward and then it gets voted. Okay?
Yes.
Your nominations will need to put in their biographical sketch.
Yes.
Okay.
So point of clarification, you will nominate someone, and then that person has a responsibility to meet the requirements that are set forth in the nomination, which includes their biographical sketch and so forth, to be considered. So you can nominate them, but if they don't turn that in, they can't be considered.
All right. Do we have a nomination?
I have a question.
Yes.
I just want to give a little bit more explanation. In Region 8, we have 13 delegates, 12 are voted on and 1 is appointed. As Lodi Unified, we next to Stockton are one of the largest ones, and we have 1 delegate, which is myself. And I do believe when you compare the entire state, I don't want to give you the exact, I don't want to misspeak and give the exact number, but when we all go to our delegate assembly to talk about what's legislation and special ed, and I could go on, and you break out, Northern California needs a larger vote. And so I always say anytime we can add to the Northern California vote, I'm absolutely in favor of it, and I would like to nominate Victoria Lenderman. She's obviously not here, but her and I talked about it, and we'll see if she's interested in doing it. But I do believe that our district is large enough in San Joaquin County, and I think that we at Lodi Unified need to have another voice. Just my opinion. So that's a motion.
I have a nomination of Ms. Lenderman. Let's see a second. Yes.
That's what we got.
And we need a verbal vote on this, Sunava?
Yes.
We need a verbal vote on the motion.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
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 Thank you. We have 5 yeses and 2 absents, and a nomination for Ms. Lenderman to represent. Choose CSBA, and then it gets.
Don't be absent.
Don't be absent, otherwise you get nominated for the good stuff.
And Dr. Ball,
So I
members
think
of the board, you can nominate someone in addition to that if that is an interest, but you're not required to, but you can.
So our district can send forth 2 nominations.
There's nothing that precludes you from doing so.
Is anyone else interested?
Mr. Porter, are you interested?
Excuse me?
Can I nominate you for CSB?
I've tried a couple times. I haven't been successful. I know it's best to go back to the corral.
Cleverly stated.
Well, I think we have Ms. Lenderman's amazing nomination. I think she's absolutely capable of carrying the message from our district to the state. I look forward to her serving as our delegate.
I would hope she.
Yes. And the deadline for nomination forms and biographical sketch is Wednesday, January 7th, so she has a month and a half.
We will assist if necessary.
Board advisory committee reports. Does any board member have any advisory committee reports?
I do. This week, Mr. Stroh and I attended our Joe Center Charter Advisory Committee. It was probably the quickest meeting ever, was it not? He's not here. We went over safety plans, which was interesting to hear the new format that they're using, and so that was kind of exciting. And they also went over the fall fundraisers and all the wonderful things that the students are doing. So it's always fun to leave there because you kind of have this renewed, like, yes, we're getting it done. So I thank Cerner for letting us be a part of that, and we will meet again, I think they're after the first of the year.
Thank you, Ms. McFarland. Anybody else? No? Okay, we move on to our comments from the public. A 20-minute period is allocated for the public to address the board on matters not listed on the agenda. Each speaker shall limit their comments to 3 minutes. If there are numerous comments, we will adjust. We have 2, so we still have 3 minutes. To share materials with the board, Please provide them to the staff for distribution. Due to restrictions under California Brown Act, the board cannot engage in discussion during public comments. Please state your first and last name when you come up. We have Mary Gaida.
I didn't put it phonetically, I'm so sorry.
You're good, thank you.
Figured I'd been here enough. All right. Good evening, Dr. Ball, members of the board, and Superintendent Mr. Young. My name is Mary Gaida, and I'm the music teacher at Vinewood and one section at Beckman. I wanted to start tonight by sharing my concerns about the plans for the Gatner site, specifically about music being asked to be on the stage with no other places planned for them to have their own dedicated classroom. The stage is attached to the cafeteria with plans to have a movable partition that is theoretically noise blocking. I don't know if you have experienced the noise level of a cafeteria during lunch, but I personally would not want to teach through that again. I do understand through email correspondence that these partitions are better than what we have at Beckman, but it still raises a concern for me. My next concern has to do with the fact that the stage and cafeteria are school community spaces. So, for example, if there's an assembly happening during a music lesson and they need the stage, the music teacher would have to find a new place to teach. This happened recently for me at Beckman with 15 minutes of warning. I was told that the stage was needed for the spelling bee and first grade wasn't involved. I had to change my entire lesson plan. This also happened often when I was on the stage at Lockford with middle school assemblies. I do see PE has their own dedicated classroom with walls attached to the cafeteria. I'm just asking that you look at the plans and see if music can have their own same dedicated space while still keeping the stage for assemblies, graduation ceremonies, and performances. I think the layout at Millswood with the music room attached to the stage and then attached to the cafeteria is ideal. Every teacher on campus needs to have their own dedicated classroom where they can build the community space and foster those long-lasting relationships, which can potentially, for some music teachers, be from first grade all the way through 6th or 8th grade. So, just wanted to share my concerns still about Gatner. On a lighter note, the handout that I have for you guys is the winter music programs for all the school sites that I could get in touch with. So more than just sharing the ones happening at Vinewood, here are the ones that I could collect for you guys in time for tonight's meeting. So you have more access to sites maybe even in your areas. I hope you guys are able to attend, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ansuela Garcia.
Good evening, Ansuela Garcia. Hello. Responding to Mary, when we had the Gatner meeting where we looked at the site, I talked about the music room on the stage. I taught kindergarten on the stage when I had afternoon kindergarten on common planning days, and that's unacceptable. Teaching music on a stage every single day is unacceptable and not fair and wrong and all sorts of things. So we did talk about it back then. Christmas program, winter program, I was going to talk about that too. Julie Morgan's is December 17th at Delta College. We fill almost the whole place in Atherton, and it's free, and everyone brings their grandma and their cousin, and you should come. It's fantastic. So lovely to hear Julia Morgan Dragonmore with Bear Creek. We're really enjoying that time. My kindergartners get to read with the Bear Creek kids, and that is fantastic, and they love it. I told you about my little boy before. They came back again. He found him right away. And then I also wanted to talk about retro checks. I got my retro check. I was very excited. I was doing the math. Some of it does not make sense to me. So I emailed, well, first I called people because people had concerns. Mr. Nova, your mailbox is perpetually full. So someone needs to help you with your mailbox so I can leave you nice messages. I was able to speak to Mr. Porter, and I texted with Dr. Ball and with Mrs. Lenderman. And so I appreciate that. And really it's about just asking questions and getting information. So I love that there was a meeting. I love that there was communication in a really positive way. I think that's fantastic. I love the interest-based bargaining. I still have questions about my own check with stipend and timesheets. So I've done math lots of different ways to kind of get the numbers, and I didn't get them. So I've had 2 emails in, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from them. I think that might be it. So if not, I'll call you. So anyway, thank you so much, and looking forward to some growth as the year goes on. Thanks.
Do we have any comments from the employee group representatives? You'll have 5 minutes, and if you can please speak your first and last name.
Lisa Lennon Wilkins, President, Lodi Education Association, Dr. Ball, members of the board, Mr. Young. I found out an interesting thing about our superintendent. He is very directionally challenged. He went to 3 different places before he finally found the LEA office, so, you know.
I was following Mrs. Church. I just want to go on record.
She got there before you did. No. She got there before you did.
What a leader you are.
Not true. Yes. She was there several minutes.
Actually, it's not true.
Yeah, I was following you.
Don't believe me.
So yes, they did get to see the LA office that we've been in for about 2 years now, 3 years, something like that, yeah. And so I'm glad to have them. Hopefully we can get some bargaining sessions over there instead of always having them here at the district office as well. And the other thing is after Mr. Young's meeting with Mike Heberly at 5:30, Amy and I had a conference call at 6:30 a.m. So yes, to talk about this. This retro pay issue is complex. And one of the things that makes it complex is having we have some of our members who were Concept 6 year-round, going on a July to June pay schedule, where most of us, who have less than 25 years are on the August to July. And I think one of the things that would fix this, and we could talk about in bargaining, is putting everybody on the same schedule. That would be really nice, because then we wouldn't have some of these issues with the retro, where some people got more than others because they had worked more of their contract year than other of us. And yeah, it's complex. I tried to do a graphic that I sent out to explain it, to show the timelines, and I hopefully my members understood what I was trying to do. I'm still kind of, looking at these policies around civility and its cousin, courtesy. And civil comes from being part of the public, being part of the public, something bigger than yourself, right? And courtesy is another thing that happens. And, we talk about being polite, and showing empathy and compassion toward other people. Some of the things that I was really disappointed about, and I did speak to Mr. Young, was there was some communication with people in our payroll department and my members where they didn't feel that they were being, the employees were being civil or courteous because they just weren't getting it. And I get it. When you're on a phone and you can't really kind of see it, I think you can't see the numbers in front of you and walk through it. It's frustrating on both ends. But I had one person call me and they were told something in a kind of a rude manner at payroll, and they called me because basically payroll said, call your union, and was yelling at me, and I'm like, oh wait, what's going on? So, when I kind of finally found out, I said, well, I'm sorry that you were treated that way. I do want to let you know that this particular method was not explicitly discussed at the bargaining table. We had assumed, LEA assumed, based on previous retros, how we were paid out in the past and how it was calculated, it would happen the same way. But because it was a mid-year change, it could not be calculated the same way. So, I just go back to that, where if we want civility and we want a courtesy, it's gotta be on both sides, and we can't blame other people and tell them to yell at someone else because they don't want to be yelled at, right? That's kind of how I felt with that. So that's about all that I have right now. I am looking forward to seeing what happens with the interest-based bargaining training. I'm hoping that will lead us forward to better conversations. And somebody teach Mr. Young how to use his GPS in his car, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any comments from board members?
I have no comment.
You giving me a yes or no? Okay, that was a blank stare.
I just wanted to wish everybody a very wonderful time off next week, celebrating hopefully with families and enjoying your fall weather. And let's hope it stays nice because I'm freezing.
Thank you. Mr. Porter?
Yeah, I got a couple of sports. Tokay water polo, rough year, they had no pool, they had to travel over McNair. They qualified for the playoffs. They're ranked 16th in D1. They got to open up with the #1 school, also that one section, and it was ranked 20th in the state. That was their opener. They presented themselves very well in a losing effort, so congratulations to them in a difficult year. Then Mr. Barajas, I believe was his name, Daniel? Barajas, thank you, I appreciate that. He's a senior at Tokay, as we've heard earlier. He was second in Division 1, okay, follow me here, in cross country. He will be competing in November 29th at Woodward in Fresno in the state championships. And as the article said, he was following the footsteps of Joshua Young. Well, a year off. Now, Lodi High was in the D2 playoffs for men's water polo, as was their girls team. Now follow why D1, D2. This is an argument that Mr. Porter is taking up with the CIF. They lost in the semifinals to Rio Americana by 1 goal at Lodi High. It was a great game, Lodi I'm talking about. And the girls, I believe, lost in the opener. The boys went all the way to the semifinals and lost by 1. Great crowd at Lodi High School. The AD there was very visible and talking with all the parents. And the coach did an excellent job. And so it was wonderful to see our kids in playoffs, but you've got to really figure out these divisions, which I can't have been able to do, although Miss Aiken has helped me out somewhat. But I'm struggling why D2, D1, D3, do this with our kids because all they're putting in as a disservice. So kudos to all those kids for what they've done. Really represented our district well, and hopefully we'll be able to support them moving forward by getting this seating done better. I really felt that Tokay was mis-seated, and they should have been the D3 dark section. Anyway, congratulations to all of them and their hard work and their coaches, because their coaches work extra beyond their regular season as they go into playoffs, and they're not paid for that. And that's something to take into consideration.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Porter. I just wanted to thank everybody for a wonderful year, a great experience. This will be the last meeting for me as your board president, because the next meeting is the organizational meeting and your board will pick a new president for next year. You all have been great audience and great support along the way, and the civility that I have experienced has been beyond my expectations. I thought board meetings were a very mean place to be at, but it wasn't. And I appreciate everybody's effort in keeping our district moving forward, being kind to each other, and setting a good example for our children. Because tomorrow they will watch this on YouTube or another channel of social media, and they will see how all of us behaved, and they will emulate our behavior. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. And our next meeting will be an organizational meeting, and I look forward to presenting you guys with a new president for the next year. Thank you. Thanks, and we adjourn the meeting at 8:01 p.m.